Picture this. You wake up one morning in your 60s. The room is quiet. The world moves slower now, not just outside, but inside you too. You stretch, stand, and walk toward the kitchen. But something feels different. You're not sick. You're not in pain. But the man you were at 45, full of fire, seems a little further away today. That quiet shift is the part of aging no one warned us about. And it's more than skin deep. It touches our energy, our clarity, our confidence, and yes, our intimacy too. But here's the thing. Getting older doesn't mean you lose your spark. It simply means the way you fuel it needs to change. You don't need more noise. You need wisdom. Elderly wisdom. The kind that looks aging in the eye and chooses to live fully deliberately with dignity. That's why today, we're not talking about miracle pills or overnight fixes. We're talking about 3 essential vitamins that your body quietly craves, and when you finally give them what they need, you don't just feel better. You feel like yourself again. Dr. Henry Caldwell, a trusted figure in men's health for over 3 decades, has worked with thousands of men who felt stuck in that invisible fog of aging. His approach isn't flashy. It's rooted in science, daily habits, and something many of us overlook, paying attention to what our body is whispering before it starts to shout. According to Dr. Caldwell, there are 3 vitamins most older men neglect, not because they don't care, but because no one ever told them just how important they are. These vitamins don't just support blood flow, energy, and testosterone. They support your ability to live with purpose, to connect more deeply, and to feel present in your own skin again. Let's begin with the first one. It's so common, it might be sitting in your kitchen cabinet right now. But if you're not using it right, it's almost like not using it at all. Vitamin D, the sunlight vitamin, but also, as Dr. Caldwell calls it, the quiet guardian of male vitality. It's easy to dismiss it. After all, who thinks about sunlight when thinking about energy and performance? But here's the surprising truth. Over 40% of adults over 60 are deficient in vitamin D, and the consequences run deeper than most men realize. When your body lacks vitamin D, circulation weakens. Blood doesn't flow as freely, not to your brain, not to your muscles, and not to the places you silently hope it still does. And that matters, because good blood flow is not just about heart health. It's the very foundation of male performance, physical and intimate alike. Vitamin D helps your body produce nitric oxide, a natural vasodilator, the molecule that tells your blood vessels to relax and open up, allowing vital nutrients and oxygen to reach every part of you. When Dr. Caldwell reviewed a group of older male patients with unexplained fatigue, low drive, and declining intimacy, over 70% had suboptimal vitamin D levels. After 3 months of daily correction sun exposure, nutrition changes, and where necessary, supplementation, the transformations were not only physical, but emotional. It wasn't just that they felt more energized, he recalled. They looked alive again, like they'd come home to themselves. So how do you raise your vitamin D levels naturally? Start with what nature gave you. Spend 15 to 20 minutes outside in the morning sun, enough to spark your body's natural production without risking damage. In your diet, turn to fatty fish like salmon or sardines, eggs, mushrooms, and vitamin D fortified foods like dairy or cereals. And if your lifestyle or location makes it hard to get enough, speak with your doctor about a high-quality D3 supplement. It's simple, it's affordable, and it's one of the most overlooked changes that can reignite your internal fire. But vitamin D is only one piece of the puzzle. And if you've ever found yourself tired, even after a full night's sleep, or caught in a fog you can't quite shake, then what comes next might be the missing link you didn't know your body was begging for. Let's keep going. For many men over 60, the most frustrating feeling isn't pain. It's the quiet, creeping fatigue that no one sees, but you feel every single day. You sleep through the night, yet wake up already tired. You walk into a room and forget why you came. You sit with your partner and want to be present, but your mind drifts like a fog that never quite clears. It's not laziness. It's not lack of motivation. Often, it's something far simpler and far more overlooked. Vitamin B12. Dr. Henry Caldwell calls B12 the ignition key of the aging male. It's the switch that turns food into usable energy, keeps your nerves firing correctly, and fuels your mental clarity. But here's the challenge. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at absorbing B12 from the very foods we used to thrive on. The result? A slow, silent burnout that we chalk up to aging, when in fact, it may be nutritional. Low levels of B12 can mimic the signs of cognitive decline. You may feel mentally dull, forgetful, unable to focus. Your physical stamina wanes. Even small tasks start to feel like uphill climbs. And worst of all, you may lose confidence, not because you've changed, but because your body isn't getting the support it needs to function at its best. What Dr. Caldwell noticed over the years was a pattern. Men who came in complaining of low libido, poor sleep, and chronic fatigue were often unknowingly dealing with a B12 deficiency. Once their levels were restored through foods, supplements, or in some cases, injections, the results were remarkable. You don't realize how heavy the fog was, one patient told him, until it lifts and you see clearly again. So, where do you begin? Start with your plate. Lean meats like chicken, beef, and turkey are great sources of B12. If you enjoy seafood, salmon, clams, and shrimp can do wonders for your levels. Eggs and dairy provide additional B12-rich support. And for vegetarians or those with digestive absorption issues, fortified foods can help bridge the gap. But sometimes food alone isn't enough, especially if your body struggles to extract what it needs. That's where B12 supplements or, in more advanced cases, injections come in. Dr. Caldwell advises all men over 60 to get their B12 levels checked at least once a year. It's one of the simplest blood tests, he says, but the insights it gives you can add years of vitality to your life. Think about this. How many of your days are lived in survival mode instead of fully engaged presence? What would it mean to wake up feeling truly restored, to have enough energy, not just to get through the day, but to enjoy it? That's the gift of addressing what your body may be missing. Not to fix something broken, but to restore what time has quietly dulled. And here's the deeper truth. When your body runs on full energy again, everything shifts. You think sharper. You move with more ease. You smile more. And yes, your intimate life finds its rhythm again. Not because you're forcing it, but because your system is finally in sync. This is what healthy aging lifestyle truly means. It's not about chasing youth. It's about giving your older self the tools to live well with clarity, purpose, and sustained strength. It's about elderly wisdom, the kind that says, my best days aren't behind me just because I've stopped counting candles. Now, if energy and stamina are the engine of male wellness, then circulation is the road it drives on. And for that, we turn to a vitamin that's quietly powerful, often forgotten, yet essential to everything from cardiovascular health to testosterone production. Let's talk about the one Dr. Caldwell calls the lifeline of male vitality, vitamin E. There's a certain kind of silence that comes with aging. Not just in the quietness of the home after the children have moved out, but in the body itself, a silence in performance, in drive, and the things that once came easily but now feel distant. And often, it has nothing to do with desire and everything to do with something more physical, something beneath the surface. Poor circulation. Dr. Henry Caldwell says it best. Men don't lose their strength with age. They lose their flow. And the key to reclaiming that flow? Vitamin E, a humble nutrient, often ignored, but quietly essential to maintain the fire that lives in every man. No matter his age, vitamin E is more than just a supplement. It's a defender. A powerful antioxidant that protects your cells from oxidative damage. Over time, our blood vessels stiffen. Our hearts work harder. Our performance suffers. But vitamin E softens that decline. It keeps your blood vessels flexible. It improves the very pathways through which oxygen and nutrients travel, especially to areas tied to male performance, physical vitality, and even emotional resilience. Circulation isn't just about avoiding heart attacks or strokes. It's about presence, confidence, clarity. And when your circulation is compromised, everything from intimacy to mental sharpness pays the price. In his clinic, Dr. Caldwell has seen men who were convinced their best years were gone until they cleaned up their diets, added key nutrients like vitamin E, and gave their bodies the chance to remember how good it once felt to feel alive. There's a quiet dignity, he says, in watching a man come back to himself. Vitamin E also plays a subtle yet powerful role in hormone balance, specifically testosterone. Without enough of it, testosterone levels can drop, leading to reduced drive, energy, and even mood. But when your body is given what it needs, the hormone systems begin to balance. Not artificially, but naturally, just as they were always meant to. So how do you nourish your body with vitamin E the right way? Start with simple natural foods, a small handful of almonds, sunflower seeds, or hazelnuts each day. These aren't just snacks, they're tools for long-term strength. Drizzle olive oil over your vegetables. Add spinach or kale to your meals. You don't need to overhaul your diet overnight. Just add life back into it, one decision at a time. If your levels are especially low, Dr. Caldwell recommends asking your doctor about a supplement, but always with guidance. Supplements should support your lifestyle, he says, not replace it. It's about clutter-free living, even in how we nourish ourselves, not stuffing our bodies with pills, but choosing quality and intentionality. And there's something deeper here too, something beyond nutrients and numbers. When men begin to restore their health with purpose, other things begin to shift. The home becomes lighter. The mind becomes clearer. The urge to reevaluate your space, your habits, your daily rhythm grows stronger. This is why so many of Dr. Caldwell's patients, after revitalizing their health, naturally begin exploring senior decluttering rules and downsizing tips, not just to organize their homes, but to reclaim mental space and emotional peace. Because when your body feels strong again, your environment starts to matter more. You want your space to reflect that renewed energy. And just like in the body, good flow matters in the home too. Vitamin E is not magic, but it can feel like it when your circulation returns, when your drive awakens, and when you once again feel the pulse of life in your chest and your relationships. It's one more piece of the puzzle that, when combined with the others, paints a very different picture of aging, one marked by vitality, clarity, and quiet confidence. But remember, vitamins are only part of the solution. To truly thrive, your body needs more than nutrients. It needs movement, rest, and restoration. And in the next part, we'll uncover the essential lifestyle practices that allow these vitamins to work their magic, not just temporarily, but for the long road ahead. You can give your body every vitamin it needs, but if your life is filled with stress, disconnection, and chaos, those nutrients become whispers in a storm. They matter, but they can't do their job alone. Dr. Henry Caldwell often says, vitamins are the seed, but your lifestyle is the soil. Without the right soil, nothing flourishes. And for men over 60, that soil needs to be nourished just as intentionally as your body. Think about your daily rhythm. Are you rushing through mornings, grabbing coffee on the go, Scrolling through the news with a low hum of anxiety in the background? Or are you moving with intention, giving yourself space to breathe, to move, to be? That's where the second layer of true vitality begins. Movement, stress release, rest, and environment, the unspoken foundations of a healthy aging lifestyle. Let's start with movement. It doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need to lift weights or run marathons. In fact, walking, gentle swimming, or even light yoga is often enough to stimulate circulation, boost testosterone, and clear the mental cobwebs that cloud so many aging minds. When Dr. Caldwell prescribed daily 30-minute walks to a group of retired men who hadn't exercised in years, the result wasn't just better heart health. It was sharper thinking, better sleep, and for many, a quiet return of confidence they thought was gone for good. Then there's stress. At this age, it's easy to believe that life should be calmer by now. But stress changes form. It's no longer deadlines and career moves. It becomes health fears, financial concerns, isolation, or even the weight of unspoken regrets. And stress, especially chronic stress, raises cortisol, a hormone that competes with testosterone. When cortisol stays high, your energy drops, your sleep suffers, and your emotional resilience weakens. That's why mindfulness practices as simple as deep breathing, meditation, or a quiet hobby aren't just luxuries. They're medicine. They create internal space. They help regulate hormones. And they remind you that your worth isn't tied to productivity, but to presence. Sleep is another cornerstone. Yet so many older men treat it like an afterthought. They wake up multiple times a night, toss and turn, and accept it as just aging. But sleep is when testosterone is produced. It's when the body repairs and restores itself. It's when memory is consolidated and mood recalibrated. 7 to 8 hours of quality rest isn't a gift. It's a necessity. And finally, your environment. The space around you matters more than you think. A cluttered home can create a cluttered mind. Holding on to things you no longer use, need, or love doesn't just take up physical space. It takes emotional space. That's why so many men find peace, clarity, and surprising energy when they begin to embrace home, organization after 60, or follow decluttering rules for seniors. You don't need to throw everything away. You need to be intentional. Let go of the things that no longer serve you so you can make room for breath, for light, for movement, for healing. It's not about less. It's about freedom. About choosing a home and a life that supports who you are now, not just who you used to be. And the beauty of all this? When you pair these lifestyle shifts with the right nutrients, vitamin D, B12, and G, you create a body and life that support each other. Your energy rises. Your mind clears. Your relationships deepen. You begin to feel, once again, like the man your younger self always hoped you grow into. This is the essence of elderly wisdom. Not resisting age, but responding to it with clarity, courage, and care. Honoring your experience by tending to your body and your environment. Gently, faithfully, and without shame. Because when you do that, age becomes not something to fear but something to live fully inside of. So here we are, 5 decades behind you, perhaps more, and yet, so much still ahead. If you stayed with me this far, I want you to pause for a second, not to look back, but to look inward. Ask yourself, gently, when was the last time I truly felt good in my body? Not just okay, not just functioning, but truly, unmistakably alive. If you're honest and the answer feels like a distant memory, that's not failure. That's simply the moment you begin again. Because now, you know more. You know that energy, vitality, and performance after 60 are not out of reach. They're not gone. They're just waiting for you to respond to what your body has been whispering all along. You now understand the role of vitamin D. Not just a sunshine supplement, but a quiet architect of blood flow and masculine strength. You've seen the forgotten power of vitamin B12, the energy igniter hidden beneath layers of fatigue and fog. And you've come face to face with vitamin E, the protector of circulation, testosterone, and your deepest drive. These are not just pills. They're keys. Keys to unlock the parts of you that never left, just went quiet. But even more than that, you now hold something far more powerful than information. You hold elderly wisdom, a kind of strength that isn't loud but grounded. That doesn't chase youth, but honors age with clarity and purpose. And when paired with simple daily practices, movement, rest, presence, intention, your path forward becomes clearer than ever. Maybe this journey has also sparked something else, a desire to bring that same clarity into your surroundings, into the way you live, the way your home supports you. Clutter-free living, especially as we age, is less about stuff and more about space, emotional space, breathing room, the ability to move freely without tripping literally or metaphorically. That's why Dr. Caldwell often recommends starting small. One drawer, one box, one quiet act of release. Downsizing tips for seniors are about letting go of your life story. They're about giving that story room to breathe. And when you live lighter inside and out, everything else becomes more possible, more peaceful, more alive. So here's my invitation to you. Don't just watch this video and move on. Let this be the day you stop settling for less than your body, your mind, and your years deserve. Let this be the first day of your return to strength, not the strength of your 30s, but a wiser, steadier, more intentional strength. One built not on hustle, but on healthy aging lifestyle choices that nourish, protect, and empower you from the inside out. If this video spoke to something in you, if you feel a shift, however small, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another conversation like this. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which of these 3 vitamins do you think your body needs the most right now? Your story may help someone else begin theirs. And if you stayed with me until the end, right, I stayed until the end in the comments. That way, I'll know you're not just watching, but walking the path with me. You're not alone. You're not too late. You're just getting started. Until next time, be well, live wisely, and never stop reclaiming the life that's still yours to live.